So today I decided to wear my Haiti national soccer team jersey, which I absolutely love, and I wonder, would Alex be a fan of this jersey?
I didn't vote, but I would have voted for Trump, absolutely.
You cop out.
I wasn't here. I know it's a cop out. I'm absolutely conservative, though, without a doubt, and I'm happy that he won.
Well, okay, I guess that answers that. But you know what I'm sure of? Today we're talking all about the final week of Love is Blind Season 10, Ohio, with Episode 12, Weddings, guys. Who says I do and who says I'm not even going to the altar? Yeah, listen, we're going to get into all that and more, so let's get started. What's going on, you guys? James here with another real recap and review for Love is Blind Season 10. Yes, this is the final week we'll be in Ohio because they didn't film the reunion in Ohio, I think. But today we've got weddings to talk about, you guys. And listen, I know I usually do a little bit of spoiler-free stuff in the beginning, but there's just way too much to talk about when it comes to spoilers. So let this be your spoiler warning. And hey, if you haven't watched it yet, please do what you should have done 2 weeks ago if you haven't already, which is subscribe to the channel. But on a real note, I'm so grateful for your support. Thanks to everyone who's hitting that subscribe button, hitting that like button, and leaving a comment on every video. We've got so much more in store, praying for good news for something I just applied to. So I'll keep you all in the loop. So thanks for sticking with me. And y'all, this week was definitely crazy because one thing surprised me and several other things did not. So let's get into it, you guys. If you missed my weddings prediction video, okay, fine. I'll give you my predictions again for weddings. Now, my prediction was Emma and Mike, right? Emma said yes last week, and I predicted that Mike would say no. Jordan and Amber, I predicted they both would say yes. Alex and Ashley, I predicted Alex would say yes, but Ashley would say no. For Brittany and Devonta, I predicted that Brittany would say yes, but Devonta would say no. And then Vic and Christine, I mean, what are we even talking about here? What was that New York accent? Sorry, it's just Vic's sister. Her New York accent was contagious. But seriously, both of them say yes. Come on, they're our golden couple. Of course they're going to say yes, right? Please? Alrighty, well, let's find out. So let's get started with episode 12. And they pick up right where we left off with episode 11, which is Mike and Emma are at the altar. And will there be kids? Oh, well, I don't know. And the reason I say that is because Mike is asked by the officiant and he says, I do love you, is what he said. And I said, excuse me? You and Emma are on the same wavelength, faking people out. Remember Emma last week said, I can't imagine my life without you. Girl, if you don't stop with these fake outs, but then Mike said it too. So I'm like, Mike, what's going on? Why are you pump faking us? But then he says, yeah, I do love you. But no. Who could have seen that coming? And the reason Mike says no is because he said, I 100% want kids, and I don't know for certain that you do too. Remember, Emma in the past has said that she's been open-minded, and I think in this moment, Mike genuinely knew, you're saying yes. I'm surprised, but I don't think you're saying yes to kids. You're saying yes to me, and when you say yes to me, you gotta want some babies, and I don't think she does want that. So I have no idea why Emma said yes, but it was very awkward that the entire audience had to watch her walk up the stairs. Oh no, she didn't walk outside and then to another building. Inside the same venue, they had to watch her walk up the stairs ever so slowly because of course she's got her dress and her train and her veil. I'm like, why did they do that to her? Oh, that poor woman. But at the same time, yeah. I think Mike was pretty solid on that no weeks ago. Then the producers asked Mike, hey, if Emma said she'll have kids with you, would that change your answer? And he says, yeah, it probably would. Duh. Like, we could have seen this coming, y'all. I mean, you all were saying in the comments, and I was saying on every video and live stream with Sharonda from Pay or Wait, Mike wanting kids and Emma not wanting kids is a pretty big deal and too much of an iceberg in between them for them to just say, you know what, we'll figure this out. I would say kids is probably in the top tier of things you need to agree on before you get married. So Mike says no, and they're not married. Well, I'm 1 for 1 of my predictions. Let's go. Alrighty, moving on to Amber and Jordan's wedding day. And when I tell you I had no clue what Jordan was going to say because this man was just perpetually disconnected in every moment leading up to the altar and at the altar, I'm telling you, I was shocked at the answer he gave. Amber says in her testimonial interview that she fears what Jordan is feeling and wonders if he'll run off. Now, I've heard of a runaway bride. A runaway groom? Who knows? Jordan might just run back to that man cave. you don't know. And my thing is this. Jordan, or I should say Amber, having these doubts about Jordan is a little concerning, right? You would think that you'd want to be 100% confident getting to the altar. I guess not. Then Amber's daughter, Emma, shows up, and apparently, well, they met Emma and Jordan. And I think that's pretty sweet, right? They finally had their little meeting, and it took Emma a little while to warm up to Jordan, apparently, but she put on a magic show for him, and there's glitter and everything. Glitter is the devil. But they put glitter everywhere, and oh my goodness, it was sounding pretty cute. So, hey, for all intents and purposes, that was exactly what Amber wanted. And then I wondered when we saw Jordan's family, isn't this the first time we've seen them? I think it is, right? And I'll be honest, he reveals stuff that I didn't know he was feeling either. Like, he doesn't want to move to Mount Vernon. Not that he would prefer to stay somewhere else. No, he just flat out said, I'm not going to Mount Vernon. And that's where Amber and Emma live. And I kept thinking, is this going to be a deal breaker for him? I mean, he said kids with the pod thing would be a deal breaker for him, and it's clearly not right now. So who knows? It just feels like in this moment, Jordan was giving me strong, I'm going to say no vibes. Seriously, the edit they were giving him said, I don't, not I do. So I was very curious as to why he's getting these edits. But then, we go back to Amber's room and everything seems cheery there. And Emma walks in and I immediately thought, Jordan, if you break this little girl's heart, I'm telling you. And then finally we see Jordan in his suit, and my goodness, it looks so much better than what he tried on during the previous episode. Y'all remember that? That awful blue blazer and that cocktail suit? I'm like, man, this looks fine. I guess it looks better. And then, well, we see Jordan, and I could just feel the sweat through the screen. I won't lie to you. That sounds disgusting, but I'm telling you, that's what it felt like. And well, I'm going to be transparent here. Both siblings probably didn't do their sibling any favor. Like, Jordan's sister seemed very nervous and like she knew something we didn't in the lead up to him going to the altar. And then Amber's brother is a total narc. This guy, when Jordan watches this back, I wonder if Jordan's going to be like, bro, your brother who asked me about burgers is like trying to dissuade you from marrying me? And that's because Amber's brother said he's definitely expecting this marriage not to happen because he believes Jordan will need more time. From burgers to blasphemy. Well, sort of. I don't know. That just kind of sounded cool in my head. But seriously, dude, you're wrecking your sister's lead up to this altar, bro. But they get there. The officiant is like, all right, say your vows, y'all. And Amber gave her vows, but I'm thinking the whole time, girl, are you talking to the audience or are you talking to your future husband? Because she kept saying, Jordan is this, Jordan is that. Oh, right, guys? Like, looking at the audience. I didn't know that the vows were supposed to be for the audience. But then Jordan's vows tripped me up. World record for shortest vows of all time. I'm going to read you, okay? And I quote, I hope accurately, we put so much effort into this. I'm glad it's you up here. I guess? Do we clap for that? So the officiant asks Amber, do you take Jordan to be your lawfully wedded husband and live forever in the man cave? And Amber says, I do. Not a surprise to me, to be honest with you. But then Jordan, the camera cuts to him and he's not smiling at all. So she says, when she says I do, I understand if you have any doubts though, Jordan. Are you self-sabotaging your marriage right now? But then the officiant asks Jordan, will you take Amber to be your lawfully wedded wife? And he says, because at this point I'm thinking he's going to say I don't. But he says I do. Surprisingly, what in the world? But he said, I just want to follow my heart and say I do. And the officiant said, wait, well, hold on. You want to follow your heart and say I do. So you want this? Is your answer I do? Literally, they had like a little back and forth. And then Jordan says, no, yeah, for sure. I got you, girl. You're my wife now. Thanks. But now the real test for me is, will they be together at the reunion? It was really nice to see how Emma was feeling emotional too. She was shedding some tears and it's pretty cute. For the sake of that little girl, please be in a healthy marriage. Still, by the time of the reunion. So now it's time for Brittany and Devonta's wedding day. They're getting ready. Wait, what? Yeah, hold up. Take that and rewind it back because they're on the couch? Oh, no, we've seen this before, y'all. We've seen this before. Brittany says that she's shocked that she's not getting married, but loves Devonta and everything is prepared for them to be married in the future. It's not, girl. You might have the dress, you might have the earrings, the makeup team and everything, but y'all will probably never get married. And I'm not saying that to put her down, but she wants it. He doesn't. And he shows it clearly in this conversation. So let's continue. Devonta said he just can't walk into marriage with any doubt in his mind. But he didn't say, one day I'll have no doubt, or maybe not today. He flat out said, I can't get married with doubt. So that man is basically telling you no, Brittany. I wonder what happened on that day he had off the grid, though. What did he do? It's giving shady. But Brittany continues to try and reassure Devonta, or maybe she's trying to reassure herself. She said, but we're still engaged, and I can see us getting married later. Girl, he doesn't want you. Now this feels toxic because she's continuing to try and push this idea of them getting married onto Devonta, and he's so checked out and ready to get into his Honda Accord. But now I'm beginning to believe Brittany just doesn't want Devonta. She just wants to be married. But there's ramifications of marrying Devonta here, Brittany, because he doesn't want you. So if you corner him into a marriage, he's going to resent you for that. Am I off base here, guys? And then Devonta says in a testimonial interview that her having a wedding dress before the show and before getting engaged was concerning. And he said it made him wonder, would you just marry anybody? And you know what? Okay, that might be like low-key the smartest thing Devonta said, because it kind of had some thought behind it. But I get it. I in a way, I get it. And then Brittany continues to go on about still wanting to marry Devonta, and that it's not a forever. It's just it's not a right now. I'm like, girl, has he shown you signs he wants you? Have you maybe taken a step back and gotten some counseling about this? No, because it's only been like, 4 or 6 weeks, whatever. But Brittany sounds a little delulu now. I'm not going to lie. And then at the end of their couch conversation, Devonta says, I need to go. We'll be in touch. We'll be in touch. That was seriously like a TTYL. You know, what the heck? If any man, like ladies, if any man tells you, we'll be in touch, that sounds transactional, and he's trying to distance himself from you completely. So he hops in his little Honda. Brittany's crying on the couch saying, I just am so fearful of starting all over again, which is valid. But you should, for the sake of your own well-being, start all over again, because Devonta is tearing this page out of the book and just tossing it in the garbage can. So that is it between Brittany and Devonta. He leaves. She's trying to still convince herself on that couch, and producers are still rolling the footage. They must be behind the camera thinking, oh my gosh, she's still going on. Okay, yeah, Brittany, keep going. How do you feel about Devonta leaving? Oh, you still want to get married? No, it's over. And I feel bad for Brittany and Devonta. I don't know. If you felt this, you probably felt this a week ago or maybe 2 weeks ago. You should have just ended it. But speaking of ending things, let's get into Ashley and Alex's wedding day. Remember my prediction. Alex says yes. Ashley says no. Ooh, boy, that I should have put an exclamation point after no. So Alex is hanging out with his buds before the big day, and his friend asks him, are you nervous? Alex says, no, but you know about nerves. You play Division I soccer. You know how locked in we are, right, bro? And his friend looks at him and says, yeah, in front of 5,000 people. Listen, y'all, listen. Talk about rubbing it in, okay? Wow. Knowing Alex's story, you guys remember in previous weeks that, woo. And as they're playing poker to calm their nerves, Alex says, I do day trade, obviously I know about the Australian dollar. And, Ashley's dad was asking me about Bitcoin. Who knows about Bitcoin? Bro, who knows about day trading, dude? Just cut it out. I'm starting to think he doesn't even day trade, to be completely honest with you. He probably watches YouTube videos and he says he day trades, but no, okay? I can watch YouTube videos about learning another language. Don't mean I speak it. So, yeah. Then Alex's mom shows up, and, well, Alex is talking to his mom like he's never talked to her before. Someone said that she might be a paid actor. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to take that back. Nope. And then during the testimonial interviews leading up to Ashley, of course, and Alex getting to the altar, Alex was talking a lot about soccer, like these soccer analogies, like as a goalkeeper, you got to make the save. And then when you tighten your laces and get on the pitch and so on and so forth, bro, you don't even think David Beckham's a good player. I can't take your soccer analogies seriously. Are you kidding me? But he continues, trust me, and bro, you've been on a red card since what you said during Ashley's family meeting. And you know what I'm talking about, y'all. The one thing about his voting. Okay, let's move on. Then we get to Ashley finally, and Ashley says in a testimonial interview that she's expecting Alex to say no. And her reason? Because he keeps telling her, you're just not my type. Ooh. And right after that, we see Alex, and he does not look happy to be there, you guys. He looks very timid, almost like he has an idea of what he's going to say too. But what I was distracted by was the fact that he couldn't even get a shape up for his beard. Like, be so for real right now, bro. You couldn't even get a little trim to get the little loosies kind of like looking all right. Come on, bro. So the officiant does what the officiant does and asks the question to Alex first. And I'll be honest, the officiant was probably thinking after this, I'm just going to sit back and say nothing because this is about to be a mess. The officiant asks Alex, do you take Ashley to be your lawfully wedded wife, to have her and hold her forever? So be it. And then he's about to give an answer, but does one of these like what? Well, and she being Ashley speaks up. And I'm like, what? Ashley says, Alex, I know your answer and it doesn't matter to me. Excuse me. Gasp. Because I've not seen this before in Love is Blind. I've seen contestants when the officiant asks them directly, let's for example, the officiant asks Ashley and then Ashley says this. That makes sense. But Ashley wasn't asked any questions yet. Ashley said, I know you don't choose me, Alex, and I'm not choosing you either. And this whole time, Alex is probably thinking, thank you, because I was going to say no anyway. Or was he? I think he probably was, to be honest. I mean, my theory was that he was going to say yes because he just needs the place to stay. You know what I mean? Bouncing around from state to state. But wow. Don't worry, though, guys. It doesn't end there because Ashley continues to drag him at the altar. Like, yo, she brings up things like, there was no intimacy between us when we got back from Cabo. And we were like roommates living together. It didn't even feel like we were engaged. Well, dang. And then she continues and says, lying is a non-negotiable for me, and you miss the mark. And this whole time, Alex is probably like, I can't say nothing. I want to rebuttal. Never mind. But no, she continues to go in, you guys. Continues to go in. It's like she's taking back her power a little bit. This felt definitely like a power move, to be honest. Remember, her dad said that she's a bad picker of men. So maybe Ashley knew a week ago, all right, this man's not for me. But I'm going to take this time on national television to tell everybody that I'm strong and I'm different. Girl, you still are a bad picker of men. And throughout all of this, Alex's mom in the crowd is saying, wow. But it was really giving paid actor. So Alex finally gets a chance to respond and says, I don't feel like I missed the mark on integrity. This back and forth felt so childish after a while. I won't lie to you guys. It was so awkward for me, the viewer in my living room. I can imagine how awkward it was for the wedding party. Like, all of y'all are there looking at them going back and forth. Boom, 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 boom. And the whole time it's like, well, you're a jerk. No, you're a jerk. But, you're a jerk and you're lying. And what's happening? But I'm here for it. And then Ashley gets the final word and says, saying no to you is a win. And her dad the whole time is like, that's my girl. That's my girl. And she said, help me get off this altar or whatever. And then her dad comes and gets her and says, woohoo, boy, oh boy. But low key for my business, I kind of wish y'all got married. If you wanted an out, I would have got you. You know, I'm a divorce lawyer. No, kidding. But seriously, wow. That took me by surprise. Then Alex's friends ask him, hey, are you going to check in on Ashley to see if she's okay? And he says, no. What do you even mean? Now, Alex, okay, maybe Ashley was justified then. Maybe she was, because that response told me everything I needed to know. You stopped loving her the minute you guys got out of the pods. Maybe the minute you even spoke to Brittany. So in a testimonial interview after that, Alex says, listen, Ashley wants to talk about lying. She's got some skeletons in her closet too. So Vanessa, Lachey, don't play games. At the reunion next week, you need to ask that follow-up question. What did you mean by that? That's exactly what you need to ask. But if you don't ask it, well, hey, I wouldn't be surprised. So that's that, you guys. Ashley said no for the both of them. They both hate each other. And I think I'm like 3 for 3 right now on like outcomes for the wedding. I mean, I didn't get this one down packed verbatim, but you know, Amber and Jordan said yes to each other. Mike said no to Emma, and well, Alex didn't even say yes, but Ashley definitely said no for the both of them. So let's move on to our final wedding ceremony of this episode. Vic and Christine, hallelujah. We needed a sweet ending to this complete mess. So Christine finally meets Vic's sister and mother inside of the dressing room for the first time. And it was a very sweet meeting. Listen, Love is Blind producers, y'all know what you were doing in the teaser for this episode. You made it seem like the meeting wasn't going to be so good, but no, it was very, very sweet and genuine. Vic's mom seems like such a sweetheart, and both his mom and his sister said they like Christine. And then I heard on camera that Vic's mom said, "I'm not so nervous anymore." That's so sweet. So let's check in on Vic, and he's getting ready with his boys. Now maybe this next note is just me, but the minute Vic saw his friends and said, "Brother, brother," why did I think of the Isley Brothers' classic hit, "Brother, brother, brother, brother"? You know I love that song. You know I love the Isley Brothers. I don't play about them. But man, that moment just got me, because it's like Vic is so in love with Christine, has such a loving support system. This is the model for Love is Blind, y'all. So they get to the altar, and Vic's sister is the officiant, which is a very nice touch. And she asks Christine, "Do you take..." And then I could have sworn Christine was just ready. She was like, I do. Oh, I gotta wait. No, she said, "I do," to Vic. And what do you think Vic said, huh? Well, no, he says, "I do." Come on. So they both say "I do" to each other. They're both married. And thank you, Love is Blind, finally, for giving us arguably the best couple since Brett and Tiffany and Lauren and Cameron Speed. So thank y'all so much for that. And there you have it, you guys. That's the season 10 finale for Love is Blind Ohio. This was a tumultuous season. It went up and down. Was like a roller coaster. You wanted to get off, but man, no, you got to stomach it, because a cool twist and turn is coming. So did I enjoy this season overall? Actually, I did after week 1. Week 1 was rough. Weeks 2, 3, and 4 were very good to me. I enjoyed it. It was some messy TV, but also some sweet and genuine moments. I do think the producers owe Vic and Christine much more time on screen at the reunion, hopefully, because they deserve more screen time. Now, they're going to get into the mess at the reunion. I know. So that means your boy's going to have to recap it and review it next Wednesday. So do not miss out, y'all. Get subscribed to the channel so we can talk all about that mess next week. And listen, tell me what you think in the comments. Are you happy with the outcomes of the weddings? Do you feel Ashley was justified? Do you think Amber and Jordan will still be together at the reunion? And tell me how much you love Vic and Christine, because I love them together so much. But y'all, there you have it. That's my recap and review of episode 12. This was so fun. I mean, at this point, I don't know. Maybe Alex will be in my comments on this video too. I mean, we've just been getting on him and Chris all season. I mean, deservedly though, you know, yeah. Alrighty, guys. Well, I'm going to go make a call of the 4 seasons and see if Chris has ever even stayed there. But until next time, thank you all so much for watching. God bless you guys. And I'll catch you at the next greeting. I'm serious. I'm calling the 4 seasons. Oh, hello? Yeah, has Chris ever stayed there with y'all?